mean, we're gonna start at the start. You know, you came off Vine, and then you kind of went into music.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
I think a lot of the whole shift, as you call it, between Vines and music happened with us, even before we even started Vine. And I know that sounds weird, and it's like, what do you mean? But I think it's because we had passion for music before Vine was even existing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think that music was always in, I mean, for sure my plans, and I know he was always telling me, like, dude, I'm writing these raps, but I'm like, I'm too afraid to, I don't know, like, I'm a little white kid, what do I do? I'm 12 years old right now, I can't be writing that. And
so it was always there. It was always there, of course. And then Vine came along, and we used to do YouTube videos. So I mean, it was just kind of a fun platform for us to mess around and make these funny clips on. And then you could like see, even from the beginning, we would throw little musical clips in there, and maybe like 2%, 3% of our Vines were like a singing cover, or me playing piano and him singing a nice little melody or something. And so that was always kind of in there in our Vines, but it wasn't really the priority. The priority was comedy. And then I think once we put out our first single with these the Eakins brothers, they're these two guys from Omaha, and we made it in a closet, and like it was cool, I guess. I mean, it's not the greatest song in the world, but it was a starting point, you know. And I think once we put that out and we saw that these Vine followers actually went and supported us, actually, like, you know, believed in us, believed in our passions, and we saw it break the top 100 on iTunes, we were like, yo, like, we both love music. We see that we can make an impact on the charts. We see that our fans are actually supporting it, so why not try to make it better, bigger, and it kind of became the passion, I guess. It kind of took a life of its own, and you know, we still like making funny content, and I'd say it's not as much on Vine anymore, more on like our Snapchats and our Instagrams and our Twitter videos, and sometimes we'll still post an occasional Vine, but for the most part, it's definitely shifted to music, and we're just really trying to, you know, make a name for ourselves in that industry. So
yeah, I would say, I mean, it's always it's a run-on answer, but it had always been the passion. It was just the fact that we really didn't believe in ourselves before our fans kind of gave us that confidence.
Before our fans believe in us.
Yeah, and because they showed us that they believed in us so much, they could get us up to number 70 or whatever our first song went to on the charts. We were like, wow, like, let's believe in ourselves. Let's actually do this and take it seriously. So that's kind of where it all started.
Could you talk about Indoor Recess?
Indoor Recess?
We love it. That's
we don't. I mean,
honestly, that's
just like, I feel like
song.
it's not that known of a song, Indoor Recess, so it's, I don't know, we typically don't perform it because I feel like most of our fans don't really know it. It wasn't put on iTunes. We didn't promote it that much, so, I mean, it's a dope song. It's Majid Jordan. They're two of Drake's artists signed under OVO, Majid and Jordan. They're like a collab group. And they made this song called Chill Pad Deluxe, and basically
we love that
song.
It
was like a really, like, one of our favorite songs in high school, and so we're like, yo, let's sample the guitar, and then we'll kind of like rip off the melody and the chorus a little bit. And I mean, obviously we couldn't put it on iTunes because of the sampling, and we had to get that all cleared and stuff, so we just threw it up on SoundCloud. And that's a cool song though, because that was literally the first song we put out, you know, like outside of iTunes. It doesn't matter what platform, that was the first thing we ever put out musically.
No, and I honestly, like, I mess with that song and I ride with that song a little bit more than a lot of our
first song. Yeah, I like that song better than our first song.
Right, because I think that was just us, like, kind of mimicking a song that we already loved, so it was bound to be good because we already loved this song. So I
mean, live-wise, we really don't perform it anymore. We kind of like have killed it off, just at least live-wise, because I don't think any of our new fans that we're getting are really going back and finding Indoor Recess. And maybe some are, but I don't know if it's gonna be a well enough known song to perform live. You know, maybe one or two people really like it, but
and I think
it's kind of tough
because we put it on a separate YouTube channel, that kind of like threw off a lot of fans, and they're like, what is like what is this? Like, where do I find it? So I don't know. We might. I say we put it up on YouTube.
It might come back.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah, so you said you've like kind of found your new sound. Like, can you just kind of take me through the process of how you did that? Like,
I mean, there's a lot of finding our sound that we really want to create was a lot of trial and error, I would say. You know, over this last year, a lot of the music we've been making has been like, we've been getting deep into it, and then we're like, that's not really us, it's not really our vibe, so then we'll scratch it, and we'll just like have wasted 2 days trying to make a song that we realize isn't really us. And so we realized, we're like, yo, we really like island music, reggae music, and we know our fans, I mean, obviously our fans are mostly young girls, so their favorable genre is typically pop music, and so we're like, yo, there's some really nice reggae pop bands out there that we listen to that have a good combination of both. And so we really want to kind of bring that vibe to our music and just feel good music with, you know, that offbeat strong, just, you know, stuff that makes you, that you can imagine just sitting on a beach for hours and just listening to and just feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, like that's you can't go wrong with that music because it's like, it's so chill. People like can't really judge it because it's, you know, you're just spreading positivity and good vibes and stuff. So,
but I think we do want to bring like a new element into it, like some electronic elements, you know, maybe some electronic drum and bass as opposed to real drums, you know, just to kind of bring the more modern vibe to it and a whole new sound. And so that's kind of what we're really going to hit heavy once we get back out to LA in January. We're going to start working on the album, and then we have a break between our US tour and our second time in Europe, and we have like a month there we're going to be working, and so hopefully we can get this album out by summer 2016. That's the goal. But it's just going to be, you know, good vibes, preaching positivity, love, equality, you know, happiness, all that stuff, all that stuff.
And I think we have like some tracks that, you know, go hard, like Wildlife. Like the fans seem to really like that when we perform it live, and they get whatever to it.
But it's like it's not us though, you know.
Yeah, it's not us, and like I think we could kick up the BPM with like some island vibes, and I think it could be some great dance music. So we'll see what ends up coming out.
We'll see what ends up.
Yeah, like you have got kind of a limited target audience.
Yeah.
Like that you have to aim everything at. Like, do you ever feel like held back by that?
You know, I wouldn't say held back is the right term. I think with our audience being, you know, mostly young girls, young teenage girls, I think if anything it makes us kind of have to just compromise, you know? I mean, I don't think people would take us seriously if we were making like the music that we bump in the car, you know, like we listen to like just hardcore hip hop, trap music, you know, all the time and stuff. And so if we made that, like I'm kind of glad we had this fan base because that's kind of keeping us away from making that, which I know we would never be taken seriously if we made that stuff, because we're just, you know, these two white kids from Omaha, Nebraska, you know, it's like, that's not our lane at all, even though that is what we listen to. So I think if anything, the demographic that we have is a blessing, because they're kind of keeping us away from making exactly what we want to make, because exactly what we want to make probably isn't what we should be putting out, you know?
Yeah, like we didn't grow up in a bando and, you know,
we didn't grow up in the hood, you know, trapping out and stuff. So I think they're definitely, you know, influencing the vibe that we want to go for, which is, you know, that pop, reggae, feel-good music that, you know, anybody can love. You know, even the hardest person from the hood can like a good reggae song, a good feel-good song.
Makes you feel nice.
So, you know, we're just trying to make some universal sounds that everyone can relate to.
Totally.
You're enjoying touring?
Oh my gosh.
We love touring so much. I mean, as you can see, or as you can hear, I guess, it's kind of taking a toll on my throat and my like nasal passage, if that, I don't know. But it's so much fun. We're having the best experiences ever, and we're meeting some awesome people like Mike Lowry. They're opening for us on this whole UK segment of the Europe tour, and it's just awesome because I think those guys are going to be huge.
And it's like, especially internationally, we get a chance to meet all these fans for the first time, you know?
Yeah.
It's rare, like they never expect us to come here because, you know, obviously we started in the US for the Vine page. Whoever thought that would culminate into a international tour all throughout Europe, you know? And so it's awesome finally getting over here and seeing the faces of those who've been supporting us from the beginning. You know?
Yeah.
Are we going to do MagCon? No, we're not going to do MagCon. Cameron's a great friend of ours. We love Cam. We wish him the best with that. But it's, you know, sometimes in life you got to kind of choose your path, I suppose. And I know we kind of have our things set out for us, what we want to do. We have a vision for ourselves, and that vision just doesn't involve MagCon, you know? I feel like that is something that was in our past that definitely helped elevate our brand, that helped get us a bunch of fans, you know.
Huge stepping stone.
Huge stepping stone. It definitely helped propel everybody that was a part of it, and I think everybody's very grateful for that. But, you know, some people have other stuff going on to the point where they can't really do it. You know, we already have announced our US tour, we already have announced our next European tour, so it's not even really a possibility for us, even though I'm sure it's going to be a great event, and we wish Cam the best for that.
Yeah.
Like, where do you kind of want your career to...
Yeah, I mean, you may have heard something about a series. I don't know how seriously we're taking that series as of right now, because we have already, you know, planned all these tours that are going on until about like the 5th or 6th month of the year. So, I mean, we were pretty stocked up with like making music, going on tour, and meeting fans, which is like along with going on tour. So, I don't know, I think that most of our time is going to be spent just making content, like whether it be music videos, obviously, like I just said, going on tour and making music. So I don't think that in the short term, like future, I don't think that we'll be doing acting as much, but I mean, who knows, maybe even in 2 years we could. It all depends on how this music making process goes, and if we're happy with our album, which I mean, I don't think we'll put out an album that we aren't happy with. So
of course,
I think music is definitely the first priority, and
acting. I mean, acting will always be there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think if anything, me and Jack, I see us more as like personalities as opposed to actors. You know, just people who like bring a good vibe. Like if you just like looked in our daily life, I feel like we could make you laugh just by like you seeing our conversations, you know, as opposed to us playing characters. So I mean, I don't know.
But we love playing characters.
But yeah, we love playing characters too.
Because like in our Vines, we were always doing that stuff. So we love it. We can't say
it's all out there, you know. It's all possibility. But right now, I don't think we have the time to devote towards that. I think we really got to focus on one thing at a time and make sure we devote our full attention so we can get as big as we can in that avenue. You know, people like Justin Timberlake. He started out just making music, and then once he got to a certain point, you know, he could kind of chill out. He already had his superstar name, and you know, he could dabble in acting, and little did we know he was a great actor.
Yeah,
you know?
he was an
Now he's doing
insane
he's doing huge Hollywood
Yeah,
films.
he's
You know?
crazy, like top of the whatever, not Billboard, what's it called?
I don't even know what you call it.
Box office. There
Box
we
office,
go.
yeah.
He's killing the box office.
And so, you know, that's kind of the route I feel like we want to take. We want to make sure we can focus on one thing at a time. That's one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So you're independent right now, which is like really cool.
Yeah.
But are you gonna release your album independently, or do you think you're gonna sign?
You know, that's a good question
Yeah,
because
that's really good.
I know we probably can't release it fully independently if we really want to get it out there. You know what I'm saying? Because with an independent release, like with Calabrasca, I'm sure as you saw, we put it out, we tweet it, we Instagram it, we Vine about it, all that good stuff. You know, we might use a music video from one of the singles to promote it and to drive it, but then, you know, there's no extra promotion after that. There's no, like, where else do you see Calabrasca? Nowhere, because we have no team, you know, really helping us. And so then you kind of see it fall down the charts and stuff after the initial boost. And that's kind of been our
weakness.
Our weakness, for sure. Yeah, it's a good word for it. Because we just need some strategy and some extra promotion and some extra help. And, you know, we need to get a radio team behind, you know, the song that we really feel is the one. And I think for sure, I don't know if it's necessarily a major label, but, you know, maybe like a distribution type deal that helps with radio and just, like, you know, getting you on the front page of iTunes, getting those banners, you know, something more like Macklemore did.
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, you know, because I don't ever want to be locked down to a label and having them have any creative input in what me and Jack make, because we know what we like, and we know what our fans like better than anybody else. So having somebody else have control over that art that we're putting out there, it just seems like a bad idea to me. So, you know, I think independent with some sort of like distributor, some sort of, you know, extra strategical team around us is the way that we're probably going to go.
Yeah.
But it'll still be independent for, like, you know, Macklemore's still considered independent with that. So
like when he won his Grammy for his what is it called, album, I'm losing my words.
Yeah.
He still said, you know, this was all done independently, which, I mean...
He had Warner distribute all his music and, you know, get him on iTunes and spin him in the radio and whatnot, but it still is considered independent because, you know, he made it himself.
Yep.
He didn't have anybody help A&Ring him with the producers and stuff. So I think, yeah, definitely independent with just some more strategy around it. That's what I'd say.
Do you ever like sit back and like, wow, we kind of made it? Like, well, not made it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
we definitely sit back and we're like, what is life? But I don't think I've ever been like, oh, we've made it.
We've made it, yeah.
We've got such a long ways to go, and I'm very content. You know, if all this was gone tomorrow, I would be like, yo, this was crazy. This whole journey we had was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing what we've done, the amount of people we've impacted, and the amount of people we've talked to face to face that tell us like we've saved their lives and stuff. You know, nothing can take that away. But
there's that selfish part that's like, oh, I want more. I want more. Like I want to influence 10 times the amount of people I'm doing it, 100 times the amount, and I want to be sitting on my roof.
Yeah, and it's like, why be content with what you have when you know you can be bigger and better, and you know that your songs and your music can influence more people and all the content you're putting out. So I don't think we'll ever be content. You know, even if one day we're winning Grammys, even if one day we're winning Emmys and Oscars, I don't even know what the awards are.
Yeah.
But regardless of all that, I don't think I'll ever be content. I always want to escalate it. I always want to see how big we can take it. So.
Would you ever go to college?
Oh yeah, college would be so fun. Are you kidding?
College would be cool.
All of our friends are like...
All our friends would be out of it, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be kind of weird.
You can make new friends.
But as of right now, college, that's not even a thought in my head, you know?
No.
I mean, you never know. One day it might be cool, even if we are very successful in this and we can create a lot of longevity and keep this going for many years, I still think it'd be cool. Sorry, I just burped. I still think it'd be cool to go back and graduate and get our degree. Because, you know, I saw that Kanye just graduated.
Yeah, Kanye graduated.
And obviously he doesn't need to go to college. So I think learning is always important. But right now I think we're learning kind of real-life applicable things that will affect our careers and things that actually pertain to our lives, as opposed to, you know, just taking classes and learning a lot of stuff that might not even be applied to our lives.
Yeah, just like real-life situations we're going through. Like, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but we go through them like on a daily basis, and it's awesome because like no performing arts school can be like, okay, this is how it feels to get on stage in front of 5,000 people. But like, you know, when we go off stage.
But our real lives are teaching us that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
What are your goals for this upcoming year, personal and music?
OMGG Johnson.
Okay, musically, get an album out, our debut album.
Yes.
For sure.
Like, hopefully, pray to God in the first 6 months of the year.
That's the goal. That's the goal. By summer is our goal, so keep an eye out. Find our sound. I mean, I think we already know the lane we're going to go, but I just want to make sure everybody else knows our sound. I want the world to be like, oh, I hear that, it's a Jack and Jack. So
yeah, I guess just make the Jack and Jack brand and name just kind of more recognizable.
And then personal goals. I want to definitely get a little more, you know,
in shape.
healthy, in shape.
Yep.
We've been trying to do that for a while. We've been kind of slacking on Tuber,
I mean, like,
performances help though. Performances help. You
Yeah.
get that good cardio every night. So.
But then, like, we have, like, these riders is what they call them, and, like, we can put, like, any kind of food that we want, and they'll get it for us. And it's like, I'm so tempted to write something like chocolate cake, but I shouldn't be eating chocolate.
Yeah,
but I still do. I still do.
Exactly.
See, like, I just need to cut that out.
We gotta cut it out.
Stuff like that. I mean, we gotta look good.
Yeah, that's a
right?
personal goal for sure. And then, any other personal goals?
Facts. We need to know more facts.
Yeah, we just want to learn more facts about the world. We want to be more in tune with the world and just like world events and what's going on.
Yeah.
And I guess just like.
But even like, you know, like the Vietnam War. I just want to know like some.
Yeah,
even that too, or just like 10 years ago.
Or musical history, you know, go back in time and learn about the greats and just
like
kind of
rock and roll. I don't know that much about rock and roll. I just know the big names, but like hip hop, you know, we could probably get like 90 to 100% on a hip hop quiz because like that's all we know. But I need to venture into different, you know, different categories.
Yeah.
One thing you both hate about being well known and one thing you both love.
Okay, one thing I hate about being well known.
There's nothing I hate about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I don't hate anything. I mean,
yeah.
One thing that is kind of a nuisance. Let's put it like that.
A nuisance is.
I think your whole life being under a microscope. You know.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like I could tweet my opinion on something, and it's like, okay, my friends would see that, and that's all. Like just my friends, the people who follow me. Now when I tweet my opinion, like sometimes there's obviously people who don't agree with your opinion. That's why it's an opinion, and so. Obviously, I get that backlash, you know, whenever I tweet something, or, you know, I think just having your whole life under a microscope, you know, sometimes we gotta, like, kind of lay low on the things we do as teenage boys, just because, you know, we can't be a bad influence to our fans, you know what I'm saying? And something that I really like, I would say just, you know, being able to impact people all around the world with a simple tweet, you know, just responding, sliding in their DMs, you know what I'm saying? Just something as simple as that can just make someone's day, and that's a great power to have.
I would say, like, something I don't like is, like, before all this, I feel like, you know, before school, brush my teeth, and that's pretty much the only time I would look in the mirror. I'd get dressed and I'd just go downstairs, eat my breakfast, and dip. But now it's like,
you gotta focus on
I gotta like stress out about, you know, what are these girls gonna pick out, because like I know that this girl might not like what this girl likes, and like I gotta find a way to like just like, you know, look appealing to all of the fans. You know, I gotta not.
It's like every time you go out, you'll probably be seen, or like someone might stop you for a picture.
There's always a picture.
You gotta make sure you're always looking good. You can't really bum it. You know
and if I look like a bum, then I just look like a bum. And like, who wants to follow a bum, you know? So it's just like a little bit more stressful because we gotta look a little bit better than we used to.
Yeah, no messy hair days. You know?
But I don't know. Some people have that. Just like, you know, it comes to them easily. They just like look swag, whatever. But a thing I love definitely is just influencing people. Like there's this one girl on Vine named Ruth B, and like she's insane at singing, and I know that like I saw a while back, I don't know if it was her who said it or someone else, but like she said, or someone said that like she like was a fan of Jack and Jack, and I was like, wow, like if we, maybe she was singing way before this, but if we inspired her to, you know, kind of start singing on Vine and just putting stuff out, and now I see like she's coming out with a song or a single or whatever it is.
You know, and it really is anyone like that in social space. Like, I feel like we're influencing a lot of people just because of what we've done so far. And you know, I just want to like make sure the people know that they can do it. You know, we did it. We never thought we could do it, but even if you don't think you can do it, it's always a possibility. It's always a possibility as long as you keep consistent, keep putting out content, and you know, just serving inspiration is definitely a positive of this whole thing.
Totally.